He knew somebody, so he got to talk
So
to
I
him.
found Joy and found out why. This is. So Animal Jam is my 12-year-old's favorite virtual world to hang out in, and over the course of chatting with a friend, made an arrangement to meet for
Animal, I think.
a sandwich or something, and you're not supposed to make outside arrangements. And human monitoring, you have humans,
Yes, we do.
called that and booted her out for a week, which I thought was actually a very good thing. Anyway,
Well, good, I'm glad.
so that's how we met cute.
Yeah. Yeah, so a little bit about, if you don't know, Animal Jam, we are National Geographic Animal Jam. We just passed, and with a bullet, the 10 million kid mark, and we're growing at an amazing clip. It's a virtual world where kids can log in and become an animal and then chat with other kids, play games, watch video. We have tons of National Geographic content, so we've got videos, we've got facts, and throughout the world we've got these things called journey books where they can kind of like seek and find within the environment the different animals or plants, and then they can learn facts about them. We've got trivia contests. Really cool, really rich world, but it's all informal learning. We don't beat the kids over the head with the learning. There's probably tons of kids who play the game and really don't learn anything, and that's okay too. So it's a little bit of both. So I personally have been I've been in the kids entertainment world for over a decade now, and specifically in the online space. So since 99, 2000, I've been working on kids interacting online, and so COPPA is super near and dear to me. Sometimes not so dear. There are some draconian parts of the law that I think are not to the fault of the legislators who are putting it together. The spirit is there. They just don't understand the implementation and the practicality of it. And sometimes I actually don't think that they understand the climate of who these parents and kids are. We study a lot, really, really tightly on the Instagrams and all the cool stuff that's happening, and we definitely have a culture of fear that makes privacy issues front and center. If there is some unfortunate event, like a child meeting up with an adult or something like that happening. But most of the time, the stuff that the privacy things that we're worried about are meeting offline your friend who you are at school with. And the law, we have the laws and the rules in place, specifically on our site, so that the kids learn the habits of don't give out your personal information, because you're probably going to be just giving it to your friend at school. And you're probably just going to be organizing a conversation with your friend there, or you're probably just going to be saying, oh, remember to talk to me on IM a little bit later, remember what my username is. And that probably is going to be a one-to-one and probably an offline relationship. But it's not a good habit to get into, especially in a public space, which a lot of kids forget that the online world is a public space. And it's just a bad habit for them to get into. So we spend a lot of time on our site. We have filters. I've got insane filters that we work on every single solitary day. I've got tons of software that we have proprietary built in-house that kind of analyzes the chat and looks at artificial intelligence and patterns to find new trends, what bad words are they using now, and what good words. We're using it for positive reasons too. But we have a lot of tech there, and then I've got a huge staff that goes through and looks at things that have been filtered and that have not been filtered to kind of follow up on that. And my philosophy on moderation is that you look at the stuff that that was filtered, that was caught, that no one actually saw in the room, so that you can introduce that to the parents and have a parent conversation with them so that they can have a learning moment if they choose to with their child.
So this is post-moderation?
Post-moderation, yeah. So it's actually, I would say about half of my moderation team looks at the stuff that's already been filtered to make sure the filter's doing what it's supposed to be doing. And also to see if there's any trends that we can use to make the filter stronger, but then also to contact the parent and say, yeah, I banned your child. if you would like to have a parenting moment, go for it. Let us know if you need more information, and we'll let you know about that. But it's really important to me, as a site operator, who is following the COPPA checklist, who's going through and making sure.
Can you give an example of something you can contact the parent about?
So my daughter was, as Joi mentioned, a lot of kids are on there with their friends. Like, literally at one point, my daughter was sitting next to a friend of hers. They both had computer screens up, and they were heading for the characters to the same space. And she said, "Oh yeah, I can see you now." I said, "If you look to the left, you can also see her."
Yeah.
Like, it's, you know, they're existing together online, even if they're adjacent or if they don't know. And for my kids, you'd made an arrangement to go and have a sandwich with someone at Fell's Market, which is where they go on when school's out. And that was enough to sound like an offline meeting.
Yeah.
And then, so I got a note saying your kid's been booted. It didn't say why. And so she was saying, I think I was typing a duck and I may have misspelled it. Like, she didn't know, she actually didn't know why.
Yeah, she thought she got caught by our automatic filter, that she maybe slipped up and fat-fingered the swear word.
Because we've had those before, where we kept, kid didn't
We
know
do that
why,
too.
a kid didn't know why they'd been booted out for talking about their Cocker Spaniel.
Yeah. Or cockroaches. That was awesome when we put cockroaches in the game. I'm like, ah!
Quick side note, we did a prodigy service for this old house, which is a construction, and there's a TV show that we make on TV. They brought in a swear filter vocabulary, but then they had to add back in hammer, screw, nail, because it was for construction, but all of those words were in the swear filter.
I could tell you some awesome stories about being the manager of the filter. I've made some terrifyingly gruff QA testers blush super, super bad by some of the words that are on my swear filter. But we also have a whole gamut. But actually, a more specific COPPA situation that just happened the other day. We have a lot of fan bloggers. I think we analyze about 2,500 fan blogs of Animal Jam on a daily basis, just to make sure, like, what they're picking up on, what they're liking, what the features are, and that sort of thing. But also, you know, to see what else is going on.
This is all outside of World.
Yeah, all outside of the world.
Okay.
And we analyze YouTube, we analyze Facebook, we analyze all that kind of stuff. We go above and beyond. I am crazy about the community and making sure external and internal communities are where they need to be. But we had a kid who was in our world, and she considers herself an expose journalist sort of thing, as far as, the culture and trends that are going on in Animal Jam. And we read it and everything, and she got banned. She was giving out her email address inside of the world, and she got banned, and she got mad. She wrote this diatribe on her blog about how horrible we were and everything, and then she was asking kids to be, we're sending in emails to my customer service staff and saying, talk on my behalf, you have to, stand up for me. And so it got escalated, but her community was very large. And what she was actually doing was she was trying to get kids, she had a couple different layers of bad COPPA stuff that we caught her for, and this is why we got it banned. But to the point of the parent channels, what I wanted to talk about is we want to have this communication with the parents, because the parents don't get what's happening. So I called this little girl, and I called the parent, and I talked to the parent. I was just like, you violated our rules, and you got banned for multiple reasons. Like, the first one was you were giving out your email address in our world, and she was like, well, that was my blog email. That's not personal. It's my blog email. So that's not my actual email, so it's fine. I'm like, no, it's actually not fine. You're not allowed to give out any emails. And she's like, well, fine, I won't do that anymore. I'm like, no, we got other things on the checklist. The other thing that you were trying to do was solicit personal information from other children inside of the world so that you could gain access to their accounts. That's a really bad thing to do. You're not allowed to do that. And she's a 14-year-old, so she's not some scary predator inside of, some dark room or something. And we caught her for that, and she's just like, well, they're not using their accounts anymore, so I just want them to give me their accounts, so I could just use their accounts. And like, not allowed to do that. And so I'm telling her all these things. I'm telling the mother all these things. The mother's like, oh, I can't do this anymore. Just talk to my daughter. So I ended up talking to a 14-year-old and explaining what the laws were to the 14-year-old, telling her that she was violating U.S. By the practices that she was trying to do, which is why we banned her from the world. And then she's just like, I don't understand, I don't understand. And then her mother, I had to have a half-an-hour conversation with a 14-year-old and a mother about why this was a bad idea. It was not obvious. The mother was defending the child. I'm having the hardest time trying to enforce COPPA, these things that we're doing so that parents can have more information and be more connected to their kids, and none of the parents want it. I have to beg parents to pay attention to what is happening in the world. I am, again, super hardcore about the way that we do things in our world, and we're having a hard time getting parents to wake up about it. So I'm going to the FTC, and I'm going to conferences and talking about, remember the parents, I know you're fighting for them, but they don't actually know that you're fighting for them. They don't understand what's happening. So what we do at Animal Jam, because we have 10 million kids and their parents, is that we've created, we're putting a lot of time and energy into the parent culture. So we have on the parent channels of Facebook and Twitter, we've got a parent dashboard, we're creating an iOS system for parent controls, and we're really making sure that we focus really tight on the tone that we're taking with them in customer service and in social media and in all of the interactions that we have with them. Right now, unfortunately, because the climate is what it is, it's mostly reactive. My child got banned, why is this happening? And I'm like, great, I can have a moment with you. Let me explain to you what's happening. Let me explain to you all the amazing things that we have on our site. But hopefully, as more and more sites realize kind of what's going on with all these changes, we have to comply to them. It is going to be harder to be on the site. You do have to, we're putting a new video submissions functionality feature on our site. But in order to do it, you have to log in with your parent account, and then I have to get a call with you to verify that your parental consent, so that I can have a flag in your file that says that your child can send us videos or pictures, and that's going to be okay with you. Do you know how hard it is to get a parent to go through all of those hurdles? It's really, really hard. So we need to work proactively on the culture with the parent so that they understand that all of these hurdles that we're putting in place that are hard for us in our conversion funnels. It's hard to make money when you're making it hard and there's that many clicks and there's that many calls that you need to do with these parents. We're doing it for them because the government believes that they want to be engaged on this kind of level, and they want to have that kind of interaction.
Excellent. Thank you.